This is how it is going to work now. The camera would be sitting above it. Let's give it a shot. And it works beautifully. So as you all know, I've been trying to create a pan and tilt for my FPV RC cam, and I have made significant damages, I would say, to the body or the shell, but that's fine because this is replaceable. Now what I'm going to do is I've been burning around 3 motors SG90, just because this particular design of the tilt, I would say, that goes up and down has been messing with the SG90 motor, and it gets burnt out. So now I'm going to make my own servo mechanism that acts like a gimbal using two SG90 motors, a ferrite bead, and some hot glue and the horns. So I have used the noise cancellation or the ferrite bead locks to cancel out any noise that the TS832 picks up from the power or from the power pack or from the motor that sits below, that is of 4000 kV. So that way these ferrite beads would help me cancel out the maximum noise possible, and we'll straightway get into making our own gimbal. So to make our very own gimbal, we would be using one of these single-sided horns. Well, I have run out of another single-sided horns for obvious reasons, but on the older motor we would be using these four-sided horns that would be stagnant on itself, but this one we will be using for the pan or the tilt, I would say, that would go up and down. So the idea would be, this would be sitting straight on the cast chassis. We will chop down around first or the second part of this holes over here that is used to give an access to the whole tilt, and what we are going to do is we will fix it upon here with using hot glue. So this would act as a lower pan and the tilt above, and we will rest the motor on its own weight over here, because this particular FPV camera, the double side tape attached to it, this particular camera only weighs around 21 grams, so it won't be an issue, and we would be resting it on the motor's side right here. So to get it working, we'll give a cut, and this would be a good thickness. You can see the first, second and third. So third would be quite broad, but the second one is quite adequate enough. So we'll use a pair of wire cutters, and we would take it precisely across. Two would be sufficient. Right over here, as you can see, I'll chop it off. It would chop off easily, but try to make it as clean as possible so that you don't have a bit of a deviation or a bit of a bent angle on the camera while it rests on the motor. So now what you have to do is take a bit of a sandpaper, and we'll just gonna do this. It's a good DIY. This is why I like making RC cars and working with RC cars, because your creativity flows like this. So it's gonna sit above like this. It's resting already, as you can see. So while affixing it with hot glue, take care that you don't put the horn too deep inside or too extreme outside on the tip, because it would then give it a bit of an weight imbalance. So again, this would be a sweet spot at around 2 second point of any horn, or whichever horn you are using. So on our trial basis, we are using the second horn over here, and make sure that this part is facing the outside of the horn of the motor, I would say, the servo motor, because this would be going inside like this, right? So you don't want something that is sticking out the wrong way. You can see there is a small white dot inside. I don't know if the camera can focus. So that is the center point of the motor. So currently it is shifted towards the extreme left, So just connect it to your RC car and put it into the VR mode, and it would automatically take its center point. So always center your servos, any kind of servos, and then fix it to your usage. So I am be using a bit of an old trick, that is using the other horn and putting it back into the center place, that is on the 0. This is not a traditional method, don't use it because you will definitely damage the teeth, but it is just a small, very small turn to bring it to center. As I can see, it's right here. So that's the center. Now you can see how much deviation is there, where I fixed it and now where it is facing. So always center your servo motors so that the pan and tilt works perfectly, or any kind of operation works perfectly. So now I know that this motor is centered. This has to be kept aside. Now let's fix this. So now it is fixed. Now you will straight away use some hot glue, just a dab of it, to first fix the position, and it's done. It's better I just put a bit of a glue here, bit of a glue on the tip, and just fix it. That's it. Okay, so that is fixed, as you can see. Beautiful. Now we would be making a few changes to the EPA or the endpoints of the servos, but that is on a later stage. So always keep in mind that the servo wire should be facing inside the chassis. So this is where my body would sit. So this is where my body would sit. So this motor should go this way. The pan would be working this way. So that now it is fixed. Let it rest for let's say few minutes. Even though if it is a quick glue or a hot glue, give it a bit of a rest, because there is a bit of weight that is going to rest upon this particular part, and you don't want this way or this particular connector over here to be quite weak. So let it rest, let it cook. Okay, so I've gone ahead and fixed my servo motors upon the chassis. The car is as usual dirty from my previous run, and I like to keep my RC cars a bit dirty, just gives it a rugged look. So as you can see, I have brushed a bit of this part of this motor. So take a sandpaper and just grind it down a little bit, not too much, so it sticks to the double side tape a bit more firmly. And this particular, the tilt particular servo has been fixed to my channel 4, and the pan servo has been fixed to my channel 3. So it would be working now, and as you can see, it has stiffly taken its position now. I have yet left to put a screw inside it over here, so because I'm still trying out how it's going to work. So let's see how it works. So I've connected the LiPo to it. It is a fully charged LiPo now, and we'll switch it on. First always switch on your TX and then your RX or ESC. So it's switched on. So as you can see, the motor automatically took center position, and this took a bit down position. So this is how it is going to work now. The camera would be sitting above it. Let's give it a shot. And it works beautifully. As you can see, it goes down and it goes up. Perfect. Now the only thing remains is setting it a bit on the center line, and we'll have a good FPV footage. So it works up and down. I just have left to center it to the main line, and that's a gimbal right here. At any angle it works, as you can see. But yeah, I was able to figure this out. It just dawned upon me, why not try it this way, and I made myself gimbal, non-stabilizing though, but doesn't matter because the FPV camera itself has a stabilizer in it, so the footage is always quite smooth. So yeah, I'm quite happy. Now let's see if these servos are going to last or not. Yeah, until then, make sure to subscribe, like and share. This is QuickShiftRC with handmade gimbal. Cheers guys.